Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Get Some. I am your sommelier Danielle Lindau with 5 to Wine Time. Today we are going to get some Pet-Nat wines. The wines in front of me today are both rosés, they are both Gamay Noirs, but what's different is that we have an unfiltered and a filtered Pet-Nat wine. Pet-Nat is referring to the method that is how these wines get their bubbles in the bottle. Unlike champagne that actually goes through a second fermentation process, these wines only go through one, where they add a little bit of yeast and sugar into the wine and bottle cap it. With Pet-Nat wines, you are getting the most authentic way and the most historically accurate way that wines were being made even before they discovered what method champenois is, the second fermentation that happens in the bottles in the champagne. So it really has been exciting to taste these types of wines and that they are becoming more readily available on the market. So I wanted to introduce you to two styles. As I said, we have a filtered sparkling rose Pet-Nat, 100% Gamay. And then what we have here, it's a little bit cloudier. That is because with the Exile, they have actually decided not to filter it. So you can truly see all the sediment that goes into making a wine, and it brings even more body to it. I'll give you guys a couple of close-ups in a little bit. But the first one, as I said, Gamay Noir. Nice and light, refreshing. Just got to be careful, as this is a wild fermentation in the bottle. Just this beautiful light rosé. Very short time with the actual skin contacts of the Gamay grape, which is a thin skin grape already to begin with. Just beautiful rose color, almost rose gold. It tickled my nose. The effervescence in this glass just jumped right out of it and actually tickled my nose a little bit. There's those strawberry notes, those light herbaceous notes of just light mints and beautiful chalky soils. Minerality, fruit, a little bit of funkiness to it because it is a natural style of wine, but just very expressive on the nose. The zestiness continues from the nose onto the palate, where I'm getting more of those light floral notes, little petite roses. This Pet-Nat rosé is really quite refreshing and a really nice introduction to somebody who's never had a Pet-Nat wine before, as it has a little bit of the wildness of the fermentation happening in the bottle, but it's not overly aggressive. It is a 10.5 alcohol, so really nice, light, refreshing, a little bit on the delicate side on the palate, so definitely one to try, especially for those first-time Pet-Nat triers. Our next one is the Exile, 100% Gamay again, but it is a little bit more of a cloudy color, as they have decided once again not to use a filtration system, but still fully organic practices. You may have noticed that both of these Pet-Nats have bottle caps instead of corks. That's because the fermentation is going on inside of the bottle, and the bottle cap actually helps create a better seal around the bottle so that the wild fermentation doesn't accidentally cause the bottle to explode. You'll see that actually in champagne bottles as well before they add the cork after the second fermentation process. Taking a look at these two Gamay Rosé Pet-Nats, you can see there is definitely a clarity difference between the two. The color in the glass, it's a little murky. The winemaker Bertrand actually decided to go with the unfiltered style of a Pet-Nat, so you get that extra development in the glass and in the bottle. The color reminds me of almost like flamingo feathers. It's kind of murky, a little bit of white, some salmon colors to it. I'm seeing a lot of different hues, and I'm excited. On the nose, I'm getting more vegetal notes with this one, a little bit more of the white onions, some raspberries, still cranberry notes on the nose, white flowers as well as crushed violets. And with the fermentation process going into the bottle, I'm getting a little bit more of that yeasty notes that you sometimes can get when you're enjoying a champagne or a cava. I'm getting a little bit more weight, a little bit of spicy notes on the palate of white pepper and asparagus. There's this raspberry notes to it still. The fruit is quite lively and vivacious, very tart. This wine is 13% alcohol, so it does leave a little bit of lingering in the back of the throat, but enjoyable as all get up. I would want this with salad, with seafood, with just something that screams for acidity, such as like a cheese board, some bries, and some meat charcuterie board. I think this is a great way to start off any meal with this style of a Pet-Nat. You're getting just one more step into the natural world with the unfiltration. So I hope this was exciting for you guys to see some new styles of wine, the Pet-Nat world. It is 5 to wine time. Make sure you don't forget to like this video, subscribe so you can see you next time. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Grab yourself a glass of Pet-Nat, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.